Good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. This is John Paul Rai, and I am coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. First of all, I want to thank all new subscribers. I see the channel's growing little by little, and I gotta give a big thank you to John Talk Star Wars and Stephanie Janikzek for helping me out on this video I released last week with my buddy Snook Spinal Tap. So if you found me through them, thank you very much, and if you guys think of a way I can repay these two somehow, that would be nice, because I can't. Right now, I just can say thank you. When I first got on YouTube, I made a video about toys, but I did mention in that video, in the future, I would be on YouTube to try to fight shills and all the people who defend The Last Jedi, and I lost track of that a little bit, so I'm gonna get into this article, and this article's old, it's very old. But that's the interesting part about it, is this article came out before The Force Awakens. It's from Spywire, S-Y-F-Y Wire. I guess it's just supposed to sound like Sci-Fi Wire or something. It's by Brian Shilliman, and it's kind of a funny name, because if you just add a little H there, it says Brian Shilliman. Let's just take a look at how he plays up Rian Johnson and tries to make the fans like Rian Johnson, who was pretty much unknown at the time. I'm not going to read the whole article, that would be incredibly boring for everybody, but let me just read a few parts I took out of it. When Rian Johnson was first announced as the writer and director of Star Wars: Last Jedi, many casual fans didn't know who he was. That's right, I had no fucking clue. Cinemagoers at large knew him from films such as Brick, The Brothers Bloom, and The Time-Bending Looper. But doesn't cinemagoers at large and casual fans kind of mean the same thing? So casual fans didn't know who he was, but cinemagoers at large, wouldn't that be... I don't know, I mean, yeah, I guess it means people who go to the movies a lot, but I don't know, the term's really not very rock solid. It's kind of, I don't know, iffy there. It kind of seems very similar to me. You guys let me know what you think, but it seems like a similar thing to me. And I just want to point out about this article that even at the time, I don't think too many people really gave a shit about these compliments they were giving Rian Johnson. I didn't. And if you're listening and you're out there, you let me know if this is stuff you really care about. And one of the things was he knows his Star Wars history. Isn't that, like, assumed for someone who's directing a Star Wars trilogy movie? Not even like a spin-off movie. You're getting a trilogy film. Isn't it assumed that they're going to pick someone who knows Star Wars history? That shouldn't impress anyone. This part says he's not afraid to outright debunk certain rumors. If it involves falsely getting a Star Wars fan's hopes up, Johnson is there to help. His name is Rian Johnson. He's there to rescue you. Alright, I'm not sure when he did that. I mean, we got our hopes up very high for The Last Jedi, and he said a few things like it's not what you expect, but that's about it, and that could really mean anything. So, yeah, pretty terrible there. Pretty, gotta call bullshit there. He gives his cast a lot of love, whether it's celebrating non-tweeter Oscar Isaac's birthday, raving about John Boyega's upcoming film, or just tweeting something like the following: "The love between director and cast is real." So what director doesn't love their cast or like isn't nice to their cast? Of course, there's gonna be directors known for not being a nice guy or a nice woman, but come on, I think most directors, if they're serious about making a good movie, are gonna treat their cast right. So that doesn't impress me. That's just another something that's just given. That's something that's expected for the most part. He really geeks out. We've kind of already covered this, but seriously, he really geeks out sometimes. Don't give a shit next. This next one's absolutely hilarious, because it says he makes fun of himself. He is hardly a director with a holier-than-thou attitude. Nobody is harder on him than he is on himself, and if he is being mocked on Twitter, it's usually doing it himself. Now, we know over the last year or so, all these names have come out. Roundhead, Rian Johnson. I like to call him Soulless Troll and a couple other things, but I haven't seen all his tweets. But if anyone ever finds him calling himself Rian Johnson or Roundhead or something, you let me know. Because that's what would really be making fun of yourself. Yeah, everyone makes kind of jokes about themselves, but they're usually kind of like half-serious jokes that you're kind of nervous to say, or you want to say something seriously, but you make a joke out of it to kind of lighten the blow, or if you get what I mean. And I haven't seen Rian Johnson calling himself Roundhead or Troll or Ruin Johnson too much. You guys please correct me if he has. I'd love to see it. This next one here I gotta call common sense for almost any director here. He'll share the occasional sneak peek. He never shows anything spoilery, but every now and then he'll just tweet a simple image reminding everyone that the film is coming. Sometimes it's just some film lights in front of the St. Patrick's Day decoration, but other times there is something with slightly more substance. So isn't that kind of what you're supposed to do? Kind of drop teasers and trailers, and maybe if you're the director or one of the big actors, you drop a picture or something. I don't know. Again, that seems to me just common sense and no reason for me to specifically like Rian Johnson. Alright, I'm not going to read this entire next thing because I don't like too much reading. I'm just going to get to what I highlighted. He supports his fellow Star Wars filmmakers and other filmmakers in general. Why the hell wouldn't he? Of course, and even if you're just fronting it on the surface, you have to support your fellow filmmakers. If anyone out there knows filmmakers who claim they don't support other filmmakers or are really selfish and seem like they're just have no interest in other filmmakers, let me know. He wants more excellent films in the world, regardless of whether they are coming from him or not. Who doesn't? Do you want more excellent films in the world? Do filmmakers? Do actors? Nobody in the world wants less excellent films in the world. Complete bullshit and no reason for me to like Rian Johnson. Quick to applaud Rogue One director Gareth Edwards, because if he doesn't, he looks stupid, because Rogue One was pretty good. And there's not too many like major flaws with the movie in the minds of the majority. I liked it. I think most people liked it. Could you pick apart some things that weren't good that could be better? Sure. But I think it's a pretty smart move to at least admit that was a pretty good movie. He gets the weirdness and fun of Star Wars. As George Lucas recently pointed out, the movies are for kids, and Johnson seems like a kid at heart when he tweets from the set. Alright, now here's the thing. A lot of defenders of The Last Jedi and the Disney movies will, say, hey, come on guys, don't expect things to be too great for you as an adult because they're for kids anyway. And this is the most bullshit thing, because it seems to me that Star Wars, the first one at least, wasn't made for kids. We have an arm get cut off, we see the blood, Han shoots someone in the face, and yeah, there's some scenes that came off a little goofy, but it didn't seem like it's a movie for kids. It seems like it's a movie that's just right for kids and parents to enjoy. So, I don't really think it was intended for kids until the Ewoks came out. The Ewoks were the first thing I saw. I was like, yeah, you know what, that they were putting there for kids probably. And Lucas said he wanted to have it in Chewie's home planet. Sorry, can't pronounce that. His excuse was he didn't have the budget. I can't buy that. Come on, he must have had a ton of money after New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. But the point is, I don't really think these are totally for kids. And in episode 3, especially, I've gone over this and other people have. We get a decapitation, we get arms and limbs cut off, we have it implied Anakin kills children. That's not for kids. I think it's best to say Star Wars is made for, a nice middle ground for parents and kids. And the next load of bullshit, he has great reverence for other filmmakers. Like I said, most filmmakers usually do, at least the ones they've looked up to and wanted to be like as they were getting their experience and getting bigger and bigger. Going hand in hand with the above, Johnson's tweets often show how much he loves the movies. He doesn't just watch them once. If he is passionate about a film, he'll revisit it often. He must unlock the secret. So how many of you guys out there only watch a movie once when you like it? This just seems like a normal fucking thing that everybody in the world does. Again, no reason for me to like Rian Johnson, specifically. Alright, this is going to be the last one, and this is important for me because this shows why The Last Jedi made so much money, because you hear a lot of shills. I've heard John Campea say, oh, it made $1.8 billion, let's not forget that, so Kathleen Kennedy did a good job when she was there. But it made that money because of The Force Awakens, not because it was good. So, it says here, his excitement over the full trailer days before the full trailer's release, Johnson had tweeted that if fans wanted to go in completely cold, then they should avoid watching it. Right. So, he knew damn well that there were a lot of fans that were not going to like this movie, and the best way to sell tickets is say going cold. You know, don't watch the trailer. Don't hear Luke say it's time for the Jedi to end. Don't even get in your head that Luke might not quite be, you know, the way he was in the original trilogy, because, you know, for me, The Force Awakens had a ton of problems, and I didn't trust The Last Jedi going in. I thought, like, Rey was going to kill an evil Luke or something, or I thought she was going to save Luke's life. I just thought it was going to be horrible. So the point is, I went in cold because I didn't want it to be ruined. I thought also, in the back of my head, it could be good. So yeah, Rian Johnson saying to go in cold is just a business move to sell more tickets, nothing else, and sorry. That's about it for today. I figured I'd try covering an article. It's not new, it's not like breaking news or anything, but I think it's a really good article to show how they pumped up Rian Johnson and how they pump up people in general, and just who in the world cares about 90% of what they're saying. These are just kind of general things that I would expect of almost any director for a movie of that magnitude, if not just a movie anyway. Even if the movie was going to make $10 or $20 million, I would think the director would know the history of the film, like films themselves, have directors they look up to. I just want to know who's being fooled by this stuff. I really just can't imagine. So if you like this content, please consider subscribing. If you're listening up to this point, you could click my Super Rey Sue, which is Rey's head on Supergirl, because I can't tell them apart. And I will see you guys next time.